My life was about to end in this cold, empty garage. It was a Friday night, but my phone remained stubbornly silent. The city outside was alive, and I couldn't bear the thought of sitting home alone. I needed to drive. There was something about the rhythmic motion of the car that always calmed my restless mind. I drove with no destination in mind. I found myself on a deserted one-way street where the entrance to an underground parking lot gaped like a dark mouth. The lot looked perfect, secluded and empty. I descended into the subterranean space. After finding a spot, I lit a cigarette. It was a heavy, expectant silence. I finished my cigarette and got out of my car, unaware that I had just walked into a trap. The walk back up the ramp was darker. With each step, the feeling of being watched intensified. My heart was pounding by the time I reached the main level. That was when a voice shattered the silence. "Hey!" I froze instantly, my entire body going rigid with fear. Slowly, I forced myself to turn. Standing a few yards away was a tall man, his face obscured by the shadow of a hoodie. He began to speak, his words frantic, about how he had just escaped from prison. As he spoke, I saw the distinct outline of a handle. It was a knife. My mind raced, trying to process the sheer terror of the situation. I was alone deep underground with a man who claimed to be an escaped convict and was very likely armed. Panic was a roaring fire in my chest, but I knew that showing fear would only make things worse. I had to stay calm, to think my way out of this. I forced my voice to remain steady, trying to sound bored and unimpressed, as if I dealt with escaped criminals every day. "Look, man, I'm sorry to hear that," I said, my words sounding hollow in the vast empty space, "but I've got to get to my night shift. I invented a job on the spot, something that might sound just grim enough to be believable. I work at the cemetery," I lied, hoping the morbid detail might deter him. "I'm already late." I took a small, cautious step towards my car, testing his reaction, but my attempt at de-escalation had the opposite effect. His tone shifted instantly, the rambling desperation replaced by a sharp, angry edge. "No," he snarled, taking a menacing step towards me. "You're going to help me." His eyes, barely visible under the hood, glinted with a dangerous light. The pretense was over. This wasn't a plea for help, it was a demand. His right hand twitched in his pocket, his knuckles straining against the fabric. The outline of the knife seemed to grow larger, more defined. My survival instinct screamed at me to give him what he wanted. Money. That's all this could be about. Okay, calm down," I stammered, raising my hands in a gesture of surrender. I quickly reached into my own pocket and pulled out the few crumpled bills I had on me, maybe $10 or $15. His eyes darted down to the cash in my hand, and a guttural, angry sound escaped his throat. "That's it!" he yelled, his voice echoing off the concrete walls. "You think that's enough?" He was furious, his rage escalating with every passing second.